Hey YouTube, it's Valerie Reified. It's 9:11 a.m. My scotch and water is chilling in the fridge because for those of you who don't follow, I work overnight, so this is kind of my late evening, even though I had a little mid-overnight nap, hence the bedhead. What do I want to talk about today? Well, Passel people added me, so I guess I have to produce some form of content. I mean, otherwise people will demand their $0 back. So there's that. Um, oh, I got my first transmisogynistic festie commenting on my pages. So yay! Um, I could go through the whole same freaking arguments again. Um, it comes down to double standards. I think that's the theme tonight. To steal a phrase from Bob and Doug. And now I feel like I should have some Elsinore, but only 2 or 3 of you will get the reference. The rest of you will scurry to the internet and search it and find out. Yeah, I look like hell. I've gained back pretty much all the weight I lost this spring. When I was in a relationship where I had this whole strange thing called fulfillment and happiness going on. I am pretty much your typical dependent personality type. With bedhead that's starting to bother me with its asymmetry. Okay. So where do we go from here? Yeah, I think talking about some impressive double standards that I've seen this week. And yeah, they all seem to relate to the trans at the moment. I'm a left-wing Keynesian economist. I'm a devotee of Paul Krugman's work, but this is the stuff that nobody else seems to be writing about or talking about, so I will talk about it. First of all, don't ask, don't tell. Really pleased to have it struck down by a judge. Really, well, I understand the nature of the suit was such that the judge couldn't really expand their remit to strike down the part where they kick you out of the military for transitioning, unlike in Canada and Great Britain, just to name a couple of Anglo-Saxon countries that seem to have some, well, countries with mainly Anglo-Saxon populations at the time of Federation. Sorry, I don't want to minimize anyone here. English-speaking countries that seem to have reasonably decent and competent armed forces. I know not everyone here is in favor of the military. I'm normally not, unless some guy with a funny mustache is knocking on your doorstep, but they have their uses. And it's good to note that transsexuals do not affect unit cohesion either. But this isn't about that. And none of the lobbyists lobbying legislation going through the U.S. Congress, which is really, really easy to amend, are pushing for a trans inclusion amendment. Surprise, surprise. If you claim to speak for equality, why? Why no amendment? But once again, it's a double standard. Keeping this group out is unconscionable and denying their right to serve is terrible, and the other one, that's a thing? No, it's a thing. And yes, there have been service members discharged for transitioning as far back as the 70s, so yeah, it's a thing. Moving on, let's see, I should bring up the web page itself so I can quote the comment from, oh geez, I'm so bad at this. Let's see. A Lowly Apprentice? No. A Lowly Apprentice commented on my profile and is awesome. I'm going to post it on, here we are. No, that's not the one. Other comment posted there. Where are you going? Let's go and find the video itself. Dead air. The number one sign of an excellent performer, I have to say. I mean, it's just key. If you don't have dead air, then you're just not doing it right, kids. So let's see. There we go. Nicely muted so I can read. Lazaryn1, Lazaryn1. Though learning a great bit from your words, I am shocked that you at 6 minutes and 13 seconds would say that you find yourself uncomfortable around people just like yourself, trans. But you don't understand how women-born women might be uncomfortable with letting a different gender into the land. Now let me break that down. I understand why you might be uncomfortable with people just like you, men. But don't you understand how cis women might be uncomfortable letting another kind of woman onto the land? Double standard much. I mean, first of all, no, we're not exactly the same. Many of us have had to deal with the screwed up medical model, but one of the nice things has, one of the nice things and one of the crappy things has been the difference in focus on bottom surgery for trans women and trans men. For trans women, it's kind of this thing that everyone must aspire to and must get done. And, you know, it's sort of the sign of enfranchisement. You know, that you've now assimilated successfully, which I don't buy on any level. For those who have body map issues and it's driving them nuts, by all means get it. But if you're seeing this video, then you're on the internet and you have a working internet connection, and you obviously realize that you've obviously at least seen a few photos which can demonstrate you don't really need vaginoplasty to be a woman. Anyway, I digress. So that's double standard number 2. I mean, she goes on to say, before you all want to be included in a peaceful women's space, how about getting it together amongst yourselves first? Inherent douchiness of trans male culture. No thanks, we don't want it. And as I said, I'm confused as to whether or not she's talking to men. I imagine she's talking to women. Women who she hates so much that she can't regard them as women, because then it would be not as easy to hate them as much. And so yes, dear, consider yourself called out on the internets and everything. So that's another neat little double standard. Oh, here's a good one. As I mentioned earlier, I had a breakup 6 months ago. And I don't know, for the first time in my life when I had been with Josie, who, I still have feelings for, I felt complete. I felt happy and loved, and, crying and frustration aside, I felt happy for the first time in a long, long time. It was nice to be somebody's girlfriend on so many levels. It's validating, just as a person. At least for me. And, I mean, if you look up the criterion of dependent personality, the fearing that you'll go at any moment and bending over backwards to try and have her play, etc., I would probably fit the WHO criteria. So this is the interesting thing. All of my friends preaching radical self-acceptance of this. You just need to learn to be happy on your own. And again, I'm thinking, fortunately, with the exception of my parents, who were wrong, learning to be happy as some attempted continuation of a farce of a male just, wasn't on. So why is learning to be happy alone? Why would you ask an inherently social creature to learn to be a little bit ascetic and hate romance? I mean, function without for a while, until you can get that which your heart is screaming for, yes. Learn to be happy on your, it rings hollow, because I spent the last year rejecting, in very, very concrete terms, the idea that I ought to be happy with the lot in life I have. So yeah, I guess those are my points for the day. And yeah, my hair looks like crap. It's all over the place. I need to like stand in the shower of conditioner for about a half hour or something. Anyway, I'll talk to you later when there's hopefully less of me. I'm gonna go and have my delicious scotch and water now. Bye, YouTube.